Hey, how's it going? Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day. Thanks. Crazy thing happened this morning. It's really hard for anyone to get a van to my place because it's kind of muddy and in the middle of the country and everything. And I was woken up by this delivery van, and he had two parcels for me, but he couldn't give me the two parcels unless I gave him the one I was sending back. And I wasn't sending anything back and I wasn't expecting anything, so there we go. Crazy. In this video I'm sort of going to unbox this. This is the Cosmic Tarot. It is by Norbert Losch, L-O-S-C-H-E. Very interesting one. A friend of mine got this for me for Christmas from Etsy, but it didn't arrive straight away. I actually read it for the first time last night on the live video, and great stuff if you were watching that. And if you missed it, just hit the old subscribe button and stay tuned in, okay, because there are more lives coming all the time. I'm going to try and do at least 2 of those a week because the energy was just fantastic. So if you were there, thanks for bringing your energy to it. If you weren't there, not to worry. So we're going to do a 5-card pick a card reading from this deck very shortly. But first I want to talk about what the title is all about. Psychics say, stuff psychics say, really. But there's no point putting stuff in the name, is there? But stuff psychics say, and stuff this psychic says in particular, actually, because I like to kind of try and explain where things are at. Getting in touch with your psychic senses and actually working with them, it tends to be it's quite tricky in the beginning. Excuse me. Quite tricky in the beginning, but the further you go along that path, the more you learn, and the less you realise there is to learn, actually. It's very obvious. A lot of it is very obvious, and I think that many people are put off because they don't kind of get how simple, how straightforward it is. And this is something I said several times in last night's video, and I want to elaborate a bit on it in this video. And that is, it's all to do with spirit guides, really. We're working with them all the time. And something that came up last night, and it's come up quite a few times in my career, so to speak, it's just that actually we are, partly at least, we are somewhere to do something. Get the words right. We have something to do with our own spirit guides, okay? And the reason is this, and this is knowledge that was channeled by a spirit guide called Silver Birch way back in, I think, the 1950s to a man called Maurice Barbanel, who was the editor of the Psychic News, and he was an amazing trance medium, and he brought through Silver Birch, and Silver Birch was explaining that the soul is like a multifaceted diamond, okay, and people sometimes say, well, if someone I love passes away and goes into the spirit realms, what if they reincarnate? So when my time comes and I go there, I won't be able to see them because they've reincarnated. But this is just the thing, you see, the soul is like this diamond that I was talking about, and it's multifaceted. So every incarnation, every life is a unique thing, and although the soul goes on into eternity, when that life finishes, that life actually goes into eternity, and it stays there for eternity in that big diamond. And when that person reincarnates, it's another facet of the diamond that comes into being, that comes into the world, comes to life, and has yet more experiences. So if you've lost a loved one, you will see that person again. That's how the spirit world works. In all the years I've been a medium, I've never tried to tune in and heard my spirit guide saying, oh, sorry, that one's incarnated again, you can't speak to that one. No, if someone has passed away, then that person with that name who lived that life will still be there, will be in the afterlife for real, because it really is an eternal deal. That really is how it works. And so to get down to business about what I'm really trying to say in this video is that a part of you is, even though you're alive in this world and you're watching this video right now, and so here am I, and so are all of us who are watching, part of every single one of us is actually still in the eternal realms. Actually a big part, because the soul is an eternal thing. So when we're tuning in to spiritual guidance, when we're trying to get that help from the afterlife. There are many spirit guides. We've all got at least a few, I'm sure of that. But one of those spirit guides is actually your own eternal soul, and this is all about how the spirit realms kind of relate to you, and this is how spirit guidance knows what's best for you. And you know, if I had a cent or a British penny for every time someone had said to me, oh, you know, the spirit world, they don't seem to know what they're doing, I'd be pretty rich by now, I'll say. And I'm by no means poor. I'm not trying to complain about lack of money there at all. But no, I'd certainly be rich if I had a penny for every time someone asked me that or mentioned that. And you know, a lot of the situations we find ourselves in this world seem utterly crazy to us, utterly beyond anything we could imagine there being a good reason for. But there is always a reason for whatever's going on, whatever's happening. Everything happens for a reason. That's another thing psychics are always saying, and it's very true. The thing is, you know, we don't have access to all the different facets of that diamond. We don't know what all our other incarnations have been about. Certainly we've had past lives, and you can go to a past life regressionist who you know, knows all about that subject and how to do it. And I really believe in past life regression. I have actually done it for somebody, and I've had it done for me. I just, you know, we all kind of have different strings to our bow and play to different strengths that we have, and it wasn't a great strength of mine. I only actually regressed someone under supervision from two very experienced teachers who were teaching a course that day. I found it fascinating, but I've got no plans to actually do it again. You never know, it might come into my path again. It's very hard to say. But it's not my greatest strength, put it that way, so it's not really what I focus on. But I'm sure past life regression is a thing. I'm sure that it can be done. And I'm sure in that way, we actually are all in touch with that great diamond in the spirit world, in the eternal realms. We always are. But we very rarely know exactly why life is throwing the experiences at us that life will throw at us. It's fact of life stuff, and you know, facts of life are just, things happen and we know it's just a fact of life and we just have to get on with it. I'm sure that's true, I'm sure we all understand that. But why? Why do things happen, you know? It's not such a crazy thing to say, why me? I mean, you know, sure, there's probably someone suffering much more than you are in the world at this time, and when I go through bad times, I know there are always people suffering something worse. But we can't help ourselves but to ask, why me in certain situations? Just because very often in life we're in situations where life could be that much better, and why has this crazy thing happened? My latest why me actually was this morning when I was trying to get this really angry delivery driver to be able to turn his van round. We were having to dig holes in the ground, and I was pulling him with my car, and he was swearing and kicking his van. This has happened a lot just lately because it's wet weather in a muddy lane. And that's, you know, the wet weather and the muddy lane are the reasons, but why on earth did someone put my name on a parcel that wasn't meant for me and set this whole thing up? Crazy nuts, I've got no idea, and it kind of just didn't make for a really happy day, didn't make for a good experience. So in that very small way I was asking, why me? And this is just the thing with why me. We don't know, we never know, but there is always a reason. Everything really does happen for a reason, and the kind of the ball of knowledge where all that information is that diamond of ours in the eternal world, in the afterlife realms. And the fact is, you know, the experiences we have are all forming us up for something. They're making us ready for our next life or for whatever our task in the afterlife is going to be. Absolutely, for sure. That's how it works. But like so many of these things, it is a mystery. It's always going to be a mystery because life is crazy like that. And as above, so below. I'm sure our guardians, our spirit guides, our gatekeepers, our angels, and we've all got all of those, kind of feel a bit sorry for us when we get into these situations that we don't understand. But it is, you know, it's for whatever reason, this is the divine plan. This is what we've got to live one way or another. So it's no bad thing to try and find answers, you know, and one of my favourite things that I do as a psychic is try and help people find answers to these things. And I'll just add it in again here. Do kind of hit the subscribe button, then you'll get notified when I go live. And when I go live, you can ask me a question, and I love working live because I can work one-to-one with you, and we'll answer it with a card or a pendulum or something. Somehow we'll get some knowledge, because with all the craziness of this incarnation and us not knowing exactly what our purpose is or what the purpose is of the stuff that happens to us, we do actually have that ability to use the psychic senses, or at least to work with the senses of another psychic, to actually get somewhere, to actually make things happen and make a difference. Okay, so with that, it's time for the card reading. So I'm using, what's it called? The Cosmic Tarot by Norbert somebody. It came from Etsy. It took a long time to come from Etsy. This is actually a Christmas gift, for which I'm very grateful actually. I'm very glad someone got me this gift. It is a wonderful deck. The images are interesting. They remind me a bit of the Lenormand in places, but they're really nothing like anything I've ever seen before on, excuse me, on another level. There's those hiccups again, and you'll know if you've been watching my live videos, I start getting hiccups when I'm doing spiritual communication, and it's working well. I really wish that wasn't the case, and I wonder why, but you know, there we go. It's another why me, small why me thing that we all just wonder about these things, large or small. So friends, here we go. I'm going to fan the cards out. And this is where you get to be your own psychic. And that's another thing I keep saying. And that's a true thing. Because don't forget, part of you is guiding this part of you from the afterlife. So you do actually have a lot more guidance than you might think. And that's why you can be your own psychic. And I'm going to say you can either pick all of these cards, 2 of these cards, 3 of these cards, or just 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and that's the order I'm going to go through them in. Did you pick card number 1, friends? What can it be? It can be this. This is the 2 of Wands. I seriously hope the camera is focused in on this for you. I'm not having great luck with this camera at the moment in terms of it doing all the focusing really well, but I'm learning, you know. We've got to learn new things sometimes to make things work. So this is the 2 of Wands, which is card number 1 that I've drawn for you. And this man looks very Lenormandish actually, and this could almost be a relationship card, you know. 2 of any suit quite often relates to relationships, which it would do, because that's what relationships are all about, aren't they? When the 2 of Wands shows up, game is on, okay? It's a question of game on when you get this card. I say a question of game on because there are always going to be questions. That is just so how it works. But the 2 Wands are planted firmly in the ground here. And I'm not saying there's nothing you can do about the situation. Very far from it. There's always something we can do about everything. But there's no new impetus coming in. This is where you've got to get your boots on. You've got to start making things happen. If you've been interested in trying to make a relationship happen, that person is right there under your nose at this time. If you've been looking for some help in this world, that person is right there under your nose. And it's time to go. It's time to get things moving. Okay, that is card number 1. It is the 2 of Wands. Let's pop that out of the way so I don't kind of pull the wrong one again. Did you pick card number 2, friends, or did you pick several cards and number 2 is one of them? If you did, or if you picked all 5, this is card number 2. This one is the Hermit. I can't see that lens moving on my camera. Oh yes, it moved a little bit there. It's working. I guess it's focusing. If it's not, I'll have to redo the video. So if you can hear this, it is focusing. Absolutely for sure. It's the Hermit, right? And this is a bit like the Hierophant, or the Hierophant, however you pronounce it. This is where, you know, you're kind of looking within yourself and you're really looking to your higher self. This is more of a kind of deep inward journey where you go right down into things and maybe think about the past. Whereas the Hierophant is really all about the higher self. But when you do the Hermit thing, You cannot avoid working with your higher self. That is an important truth and something not to be let go of, actually. So if you drew this card, it's time to meditate, it's time to think about things, okay? And if you drew all 5, well, this is the second card. So coming after the 2 of Wands, this is saying stop and think. And I was saying get your boots on and get it done with the 2 of Wands, but you can think about things while you're getting done. While you're getting them done. Just because you're busy with a thing doesn't mean that you have to kind of completely give it up to do the hermit thing and look within yourself. It's just a stop, look, listen. It's not a stop forever, but it's a stop, it's a look, and it is most certainly a listen. So that's the Hermit, Major Arcana there. Did you choose card number 3, friends? Did you choose 3 among other ones? Or if you chose all 5, this one's the heart of the matter. This one is the 3 of Pentacles, and this is great. This is steady progress, actually. So this is looking pretty good, and this would be another thing. If you picked all 5, this would be another reason to take note of both the 2 of Wands that we started with and the Hermit that came in as card number 2, because this shows that things are actually happening. We've got these guys up a ladder. One of them looks as if he's about to fall off a ladder. I hope he doesn't, because I've got to go up a ladder soon. No choice about it, because I've got roof work to do and builders keep getting stuck. So there we go, got to be careful when there's a ladder involved. So there's a note of caution here, okay? This is all about steady progress. This is very positive, and at the heart of the matter, this shows that things are really moving, that things are actually going pretty well, not just quite well, but pretty well. You know, you're really on the way if you pick this card. But there's just a note of caution, you know, there's always going to be a bit more work to do when we're in this position, because it's Pentacles, it's abundance, it's, you know, the 5-pointed Pentacle star means earth, air, fire and water as 4 points, and the 5th point is God, it's the divine, it's the spirit realms, the spirit influence, and that shows that everything is working together, you know, between heaven and earth. So it is very, very positive, and you know, Pentacles, there's a certain amount of wealth and abundance involved here, so it looks like things are going to pay off, but it's early in the journey, there's a fair bit to do yet, and that kind of goes with the idea of the 2 of Wands, and it certainly goes with the idea of the Hermit. This leaves us card number 4 and card number 5. So what have we got for number 4? Did you choose card number 4, friends? If you did, or if you chose all 5, this is it. It's the Ace of Swords. So there's something to decide here, okay? Maybe you're making progress, but your heart isn't quite in it in some way. Now this is later, this is kind of the short-term future here. So this is showing that you're coming up to what you might call a hiatus, just a kind of a fork in the road almost, a place where, again, you need to stop and think, but you really need to actually be decisive. Don't just kind of say, well, I've got to stop and think about this, might as well give up. No, keep it moving, keep it going, because there's great, great alchemy showing in the Ace of Swords here. So you can do it, you can make stuff happen, and it's going to be pretty good as well. Look at all the light that there is around the sword in this card, in this image. Very, very powerful. The sword is actually pointing up as well, and that's always something to remember, okay? Because as you're making this decision, which feels to me like it's kind of a tricky decision, and so many people watch these videos, different strokes for different folks. I'm grateful and delighted that so many people watch, actually. But it does mean I'm not entirely sure who you are and what you're going through. Drop me a comment down there, by the way. Let me know how it's going. It's really helpful and really nice, actually, just to share the journey with you guys and know who I'm doing these readings for. But it's Ace of Swords, it's alchemy, and it's saying, you know, make it happen, okay? No point hanging about, particularly when you've got the 3 of Pentacles there, and I'll recap over them in a minute, because now we come to card number 5. What's this one going to be? This is the outcome card, and it's the 2 of Swords. I really hope I've not gone so close to the camera that you can't see it now. I don't think I have, actually. I think this is going to work. And if you're watching this video, it's largely worked. Otherwise I'll shoot it again, because that's how it goes. Now in this card, we've got a full moon here, and we've got 2 birds flying across the full moon, and that is kind of like the not just the soul. The reason there's 2 birds is that the soul kind of draws in another soul somewhere along the line and they fly on that journey together. It could be a relationship, it really could. At the same time, it could be that kind of effort matching that the universe will do. If you put some effort in, the universe will put some effort in as well, as long as it's all for the highest good, and that's what you've got to keep praying for and asking for. But it's Two of Swords. This lady is looking away from the water. Looks to me like she's not sure what to do, but this is another matter of making decisions. This is something else to decide, and coming in after the Ace of Swords, it's really worth making that move, making that decision, just committing yourself, because there's no new information coming in to inform you about what's going to happen next or what you're going to find yourself needing to do next. You've actually got to move now. Going right back to the Two of Wands at the beginning of this spread, that was saying get your boots on. Essentially this is kind of get your mental boots on, I suppose, but be decisive. Okay guys, 2021 is a wacky year like that. We are right at the beginning of the year. We don't know what the year is going to bring, but we've got to get on with it. We've got to make stuff happen, you know. If someone had told me early in 2020 that a year from now I'd have my sort of 1,000 subscribers that I need to make the live videos the way I make them, I wouldn't have been at all sure I could believe that, you know. And I didn't make a lot of plans for this happening, but it came along and it happened around November because of people coming over from Kim at Intuitive You. And Kim, if you're watching, thank you so much for sending me all these kind of... She gave me a shout out, she gave me a mention, and that has allowed the universe to send many of you to me. Also Celtic Tarot Sheila, can't thank you enough either. And you know, I could have been better prepared for this. It's okay, you know, it's going fine, it's all swimming along, it's looking pretty good. But get your intellectual boots on, get your thinking head on, get the decisions made, for better, for worse. You can make adjustments as you're going along, but you know, the last thing you want to miss out on is the impetus to get things going, and that's showing through very strongly in this reading. We had card number 1, the Two of Wands, which is, you know, that is, wands are all about action, making things happen. And we have the Hermit, so you've got to look inside yourself. Maybe stop temporarily, don't stop forever, don't give up on a thing, but sometimes you need to kind of stop. See, nothing is ever hopeless, that is a real fact of life, but sometimes the way we're trying to do a thing isn't going to work out, so in that sense it's hopeless. So you don't give up on the thing, sometimes you change the way you're going to do it because you want to actually get success there. That's the Two of Wands followed by the Hermit there, which I've dropped on the ground. Card number 3, Three of Pentacles. It's all worth it. There's success going on there. Things are happening, steady progress. Abundance is certainly on its way. Ace of Swords. You know, make that mental move right now. That's the thing to do, okay? Because there's alchemy here, and that is saying, you know, not just get it done, but get your thinking head on, get those decisions made. You will be able to think your way around it if you just kind of stay on the horse of mental processing. You'll get there in the end. And finally, the Two of Swords. So there's something to decide there. There really is. And this reading is a bit of an up and down one there, but it's very true to life in that sense, I think, because life is such an up and down thing. Life is so unpredictable. So, right, I've discovered a problem with the camera and I haven't worked out how to get around it yet. It always cuts out after 23 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm sure there's something I can adjust there to change it. But I've put all the lights away and stuff now, so there we go. At least we got through the reading. That is the great thing. So it only remains for me to say thank you very much for watching, folks. Do please leave me a comment. It's great to know who I'm doing these readings for, and it's a way we can share the journey. You can also share the journey with me, or if you want, book a private reading at the email address which is down there. It's 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com. Hit the subscribe button, okay though guys, because then you won't miss any of the videos. There's new videos, new readings coming up all the time, and all my videos do include a reading somewhere along the line. It's how I roll, and I know it's how you roll too. That's the important thing. Also, you'll get notified when I go live. You know that really helps matters. So big fat thumbs up if you've enjoyed this one. Sorry it's kind of shot in two different places. I will overcome, and I hope you will overcome too, because that's what life is all about. So friends, have a great time ahead. I'll see you again very soon. If you'd like to buy me or the channel a coffee, it's ko-fi.com/Andy's Readings. There's a link to that down there as well, down in the description down below. And if you're watching on a mobile device, there's a little chevron pointing down, and if you tap on it's on this, where is it? It's on this side of your screen. I'm getting flipped left to right here, you see. But yeah, it's on this side of your screen. That's where it is. There's a little arrow thing pointing down. If you tap that, it will open up the description for you, and you'll get the coffee link. You'll get the link to all the good things. Meanwhile, be good to each other. Have a fantastic time. Thanks again for watching. Love, light, blessings to you, and peace.